Alright, we'll just call this part 2. I might as well go ahead and finish this thing up. Let me go ahead and show you how we ended up with this broth here, just to help you out understand. Ended up getting about 5 quarts of good broth, and the last one, the very last quart jar was about 2 inches shy of reaching where it needed to be at the 1-inch head mark on the neck of the bottle. So I just ladled in some hot water and filled it all the way back up to where it should be. So it'll be a little bit weaker than I would like, but I'm sure it'll taste just fine. And so I ended up getting 5 quarts of the rabbit broth. And sorry about the shakiness, let me adjust you there. So what I ended up doing is, you can see those other 2 quart, 1, 2, they're just empty water, they're not full of broth. And to fill in the space in the canner, I just put those in there and filled them up with the hot water. Alright, and so I got my stove cranked up there. It's on about number 8, and I'm probably going to turn on the high here in just a second. But I wanted to just go ahead and let you know about the top of this thing here. Here's your big old lid. Let me move you back just a hair. And you can see there's your vent hole. Okay, in the front it looks just like that little nipple hanging out there. You want to make sure that it is free. So I'm going to take it and I just blow through it real quick in my mouth, make sure it's free, and then I'm going to go ahead and adjust it on top of the can. I'm going to put it on. It's got a locking system and a little rubber gasket. You make sure that's all good to go. And it goes on, it's kind of funny, it goes on a little bit funny. So it's going to take me a second to go ahead and adjust it. Sometimes it hits right away, and other times it'll take a minute or two. So we'll turn it this way here. And looks like it wants to go on right there. Let's see. Turn it back this way. Let's flip it back over. It's a little temperamental. I want to get a better one. There it goes. So it's on. And then you just twist it like this. Oh, it's nice and tight. Good to go. Then I'll take my temperature, crank it up to high, and there we have it. And now what I'll do is I'll wait until the steam starts blowing viciously, blowing out of here, and then I'll let it go for 10 minutes. Let that steam come blasting out of there, nice and high right about here. Turn the fan on the microwave, let it so it'll get steamed up. And 10 minutes like that, and then what'll happen is your little pressure plug right here. Well, I probably should have made sure it was working too, but I'm sure it'll be fine. There it goes. It's rattling. This will pop up. The steam will blast, and then what we'll have is we'll have time to put your pressure regulator on. And then this is what this little thing here looks like. You've probably seen them. That right there, that one little weight is 10 pounds of pressure. So once the steam is blasting out of that hole, I'll put this thing on like that, and it'll start rocking. It'll be rocking kind of fast. And then I'll turn the heat down until it's just rocking about like this. Nice steady rock for about 25 minutes. And there you have it. Easy as pie. Now tomorrow night we're going to have one of my chickens for dinner, so I'll take the carcass. And because I went through all this work tonight, I want to take a break tomorrow. I'll just make sure that I throw that carcass. And I probably didn't mention in the last video, excuse me, but I stripped the skin off of there before I stick the carcass in there. I think I mentioned in the first video that I left the skin on. I want to make that correction. I'll go ahead and take that skin off to make sure that there's not too much fat in there, because fat is one of your enemies with canning. So your fat, your moisture, humidity, temperature, sunlight, all those things you want to be careful not to get a whole lot of it in there, or any of it in there really. And you don't want to put your cans, your jars right out into the sunlight. That's not a good idea. You want to keep them in a dark, cool place. So, alright, that's about it. That's part 2, and that'll conclude this part here on canning. So, there you have it. Any questions, let me know. Hopefully this was helpful for you, and I'll let this thing go ahead and blast away, let that steam vent go, and go ahead and get it going. And then I'll just read a good book or do something, and just wait for my time to go ahead and pull them out. Oh, let me mention this. after you go ahead and after it's time, after the thing's rocking away on there, and it's already been your timer, set your oven timer for about 25 minutes. For 25 minutes, and then once the 25 minutes is up, you just turn the temperature off, and you can use your I use welding gloves. I keep a pair of welding gloves in my kitchen drawer, and we use these for everything. Welding gloves are the best pot holders. They're cheap. You're not going to get burnt. You get a good grip, and you can wash them, or you can buy a new pair. So I'll grab my welding gloves, and I'll just kind of very gently pick it up, take it off the heat, and let it sit. And then we'll let it cool off on its own, and the pressure plug will go ahead and drop back down once it's cool. And then after that pressure plug drops back down, which is this little pressure plug, will shoot up in the air, and it will hold pressure. And then once it's depressurized, it'll drop back down. And at that point, you can go ahead and unlock everything, and then you can take your jars out. You don't want to rush it because you don't want to crack any of your jars. I've never had a problem with them. I've always been pretty particular and made sure that I didn't rush the process. You definitely don't want to rush it at all. And so there's your pressure canner. All right. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll talk with you later. See you later.